Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. It is so beautiful outside. I absolutely love the spring. Hope you guys get some time to be outside today. So for this video, we're going to cover romance, career, finances, talents, spirituality, and anything else that wants to come through. I try to pull forward the most useful information. If this is your first time here, a special hello to you. I'm Zach, and I use a natural psychic ability to read tarot and to create your oracles. So take a couple deep breaths, do whatever you need to do to ground your energy. That gives us the best chance of linking up in time and space so that this reading means that much more to you. Now let's take a look at the piles. Pile 1 is Sage. Pile 2 is Rose. Pile 3 is Frankincense. As always, feel free to pause the video to take as long as you need to choose the pile you feel drawn to the most. Once you've chosen your pile, there are corresponding timestamps there in the description box or the comment section below. Find your corresponding timestamp and I will meet you at your reading. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading, everyone who chose the Sage bundle. I'm just going to set that here. And where do I want to start? For some reason, you guys, I really want to pull an animal medicine card for you. So let's see which animal spirit guide would like to work with Pile 1, please. Is there an animal spirit guide? Excuse me. For Pile 1? Ooh. Okay, for Pile 1. You guys got rabbit. Okay, very curious. Now, the rabbit to me really does talk about fear and anxieties, okay? And it's a really, really important card to me, okay? Because this was a huge life lesson that I went through over the last 2 to 3 years. I used to have an anxious attachment and I just suffered from anxiety, especially after I graduated college. I don't know. And I had never been an anxious person before. I've always been extra sensitive, but I've never been anxious. And so I feel like right now, anxieties and fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs are something that we're talking about first right now, okay? Now, what's important is that, and this is, the lesson I've been working on for so long, is that when that fear comes in, when that anxiety rises up, when that self-limiting belief comes into focus, all that you need to remember is that it's happening, right then and there. I'm having an insecurity, I'm having a fear. For example, you think that you're going to get a flat tire, or we'll just work with that example. If you think of that in that second and you're like, wait, I just fixed my tires, I just got them replaced, I just got them rotated, my tires are fine. There's no reason to feel that way. And that's just a general example. Use this for anything. Maybe you're like, I don't think that this project of mine is going to pan out. I don't think that this person is being faithful. Whenever those moments of insecurity come up, or fear and anxiety, all you have to do is become self-aware. It's like the hugest lesson. This rabbit is so powerful. And it's because it's just showing you that any stimuli that's negative is worth just as much as a positive stimuli. All they are there for is to get you to turn on to self-reflection and be like, hello mind, crazy little monkey mind, stop doing that. I don't need to feel that way in this exact moment. Obviously, if there is a time in your life you're being chased by a bear, you need to feel fear and anxiety to, get out of that situation. But if you're sitting at home, you're quietly, peacefully doing your own thing, and then boom, what if so-and-so thinks I'm a liar? What if I get fired from my job tomorrow? And if there's no other reason for that idea to be happening, and you in that very present moment are safe and grounded, there's no reason for you to continue thinking that way. And all you need to do is train your mind in those moments to become self-aware. I know I'm really drawing out this message. It's just really significant to me, this rabbit, okay? So I want to pull some spiritual cards next. We're going to cover career and finances, life path with the tarot, and some romance, of course. So let's get a spiritual card, please, for Pile 1. I feel like it's the top one. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Beautiful. Okay. So to me, this talks about people who are either new to spirituality or this, they're going to a new plane of spirituality. Okay. Now, let's just stick with that idea of someone who's new to spirituality. Okay. So this requires you to do a lot of introspection. Potentially, some people could do shadow work. Some people don't relate to that term. It's important not to get caught up in the words, is what I'm hearing, and to just be self-reflective. A really good habit to get into is to wake up the first thing you do in the morning, maybe instead of coffee, have a glass of water and just think about what dreams you had last night and write them down. And just start a practice of being self-aware. I think that's the biggest message we're talking to pile 1 about, okay? Because it's a rite of passage, crossing the threshold from darkness into, a really colorful world. To me, this talks about a path of spirituality and leaving the dark night of a soul. And I think for the rabbit to come out, it's talking about perhaps, and this is general, so you have to figure out which group you fit in. You're either someone who has been dealing with a lot of anxiety and insecurity and you're being really proactive and making progress, you're about to cross the threshold, or you're someone who is really plagued by it and needs to learn the mechanisms that are required to become self-aware, okay? And that has to do with reflection, just self-reflection, okay? I talk aloud to myself often. Dumbledore says it's what smart people do, so don't judge me. And if you talk aloud to yourself, that's the recommendation I'm getting. I also see lightning coming down from the clouds. It talks to me about illumination, a spiritual awakening. Okay, so to me, I get the idea that pile 1 are potentially spiritual people who are either, again, going to this new level of spirituality, requiring some extra step. So you might have been doing spiritual work for 5 or 10 years, and this next step would be taking it into a different field. That's all I can say. I think that I'm thinking of one of my friends right now, and she's currently moving into land, and she's going to live more sustainably. It's been a calling she's felt for a lot of years. So I do see some sort of passage. I see some sort of shift from an old reality into a new reality that's kind of black and white, kind of a big shift. Before you were living in a world with less color, less optimism, and as a result your world was a little bit more bleak, and now I see you guys moving across. There's this element of a rite of passage, though, which to me talks about a necessary action you need to take in order to be able to make this transition. It's like an inner commitment to yourself is what I'm getting, okay? Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Now I'm seeing this big moon, which to me does it talks about fears and anxieties and insecurities, everything that lays in our subconscious, okay? To me, we're talking about the need to release ourselves from outdated models of thinking and belief systems that we don't resonate with. Maybe we did for a while, maybe we weren't self-aware and just went along with them, but there's something along the lines that pile 1 is waking up. Cool. That's our theme for pile 1. Pile 1 is waking up. And if you're not waking up and you're a part of the crew who is, taking their spirituality to the next level, I think pile 1 is going through this rite of passage, okay? Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, to me, talks about getting rid of negative self-talk, getting rid of this idea, this who you used to look at yourself as when you looked in the mirror, okay? We want you to be someone who is very happy with who they see in the mirror. And again, if that triggers you and, you feel like that's not something you can do at this time, all that is required is to sort of figure out, pick one thing and dissect that. Right? What makes you feel ugly? What makes you feel like you don't have a talent? It's probably something that happened in your childhood, or society at large is rearing some sort of ugly vision of what ideal looks like, and it doesn't resonate with your soul. Okay? There's this idea of a shift, okay? A mental shift. It's like we want to really empower pile 1 to just go from A to B. I just keep seeing over and over again, like an about face, right? 180 degrees, right? We used to be someone who was in this small boat going and really easily toppled by waves into a larger boat with a big keel. and you're a lot more stable. And it's like the inner stability that we want to talk to pile 1 about. That's so cool. I love this message so far. Let's hold off on romance and we'll reach for some, tarot. The first card out is the 9 of Cups. Okay, emotional satisfaction. Perfect. So I do see now that I'm, channeling more the people who have been doing a lot of this work already. Okay, and we are giving you a confirmation that you are about to cross into a much more brighter future. Life is going to look more colorful for you. You're going to find a lot more serendipity and chance working in your favor. You're going to have, developed friendships. I see them taking off into a deeper level of commitment. I see you winnowing away old friendships and working more with developing a connection with a select few. Okay. 9 of Cups is also a Make-A-Wish card, so if you feel inclined, I always love to put that out there. Pause the video, make a wish, okay? Satisfaction to like the nth degree is the 9 of Cups, okay? And I think that is someone who has developed self-awareness, okay? I really like this idea of moving from the small boat into the big boat, and that idea of developing that cord inside where no matter if someone triggers you into a thought pattern that you used to perpetuate, you won't be shaken by it anymore after you do this little bit of reflection with yourself, okay? Let's draw a few more tarot cards to see what else we want to talk about. Okay, 7 of Cups. Now, yes, this makes sense to me. This rite of passage card I feel like is the most important. This crossing a threshold. You guys now have the 7 of Cups, which talks about lots of choices and lots of opportunities. And some of them are going to seduce you into an old way of being. Some of them are what society wants, and some of them your soul wants. Some of them are really resonating with the future you, the you that you're meant to achieve, right? I always believe that our higher selves, before we decide to come into the earth plane, because I feel like it's really challenging here. I think there are a lot of factors that are very difficult. You guys got the Judgment card. That's really beautiful. Rite of Passage. This is a crossroads card, and I love to see that it's a major arcana. Okay. So I think that you guys are leaving the dark night of a soul. I think that perhaps this winter and late fall has been more difficult for you. And because you have taken the initiative to do this work, to become self-aware, to start a project that you'd always wanted to cut away certain relationships, to develop just some more love for yourself, more compassion, I see the universe working with you and recognizing this work that you're doing. And that's what this reading really seems to be about. The 7 of Cups just has a little bit of an underscore of a caution that says make sure you're choosing what is the most authentic to you. I think that this angel also talks about authenticity too. And I see you leaving behind the past, okay? Again, releasing soul patterns, past lives, unbound, freeing yourself. The Judgment cards, you have all these people who are nude, and it's kind of like the dead burying the dead. I see it as you burying old parts of yourself that you have moved on from. You've lived them. You've lived through those events and insecurities and anxieties. You've become self-aware so you can recognize when an idea outside of you doesn't really match. And you're not shaken anymore when something challenging comes up that reminds you of an old thought pattern or an old reactionary pattern. You're not really as seduced by that anymore. You're able to recognize and be like, oh, wow, like I would, in the past, I used to blah, 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 or I would do this, and I don't feel like that at all anymore. Okay? 7 of Cups, yes. Lots of choices and opportunities. With the Judgment card coming out, it makes me think of the universe, makes me think of your spiritual team and angels and guides, and it makes me think that because you have done this work, there are opportunities coming, many of them. Just be aware that there will be perhaps many, so don't necessarily pick the very first one that comes along, okay? And then Judgment again, yeah. I just see that as a beautiful card. It is one of my favorites in the deck. I think it's the Angel of Gabriel with a trumpet, okay? Something along the lines of throat chakra and speaking your truth. And I think it's because you guys are being more authentic. I think you guys are finally settling into a place where you're able to, figure out where your niche is, okay? Very cool. Do I want to pull You know, I want to pull, before we go into romance, I'll do that towards the end. Let's pull some earth magic for pile 1. Self-awareness is a superpower. I see you guys becoming self-confident, okay? Sometimes self-confidence means an understanding that you come from a much higher plane, a much more infinite realm, and you're here to just simply have a human experience. You have rainbow with blessings, okay? I see that with the angel as well. You also have, you know, both the 7 of Cups and the 9 of Cups with rainbow. That's beautiful, you guys, okay? I do see a blessing coming through, you know? I think in the beginning, I was thinking that this rabbit card was what you presently are dealing with, but I'm actually sensing that we were confirming that that is the energy that you have been working on. And it's a lesson that you're becoming really adept at. Being able to recognize when this fear crops up and you're like, excuse me, like that is literally not happening right now. There is no fear of that actually manifesting in this exact present moment, so then I don't need that right now. Thank you, subconscious, for keeping me alive, but that's not necessary at this time. That would be an easy conversation to have with your subconscious whenever those fears come up. Rainbow with blessing. That's remarkable. Okay, I did sense that there was something that's happening to you when you cross the threshold. You know, this initiation card, you're going from this bleak, black, sort of outside into this teeny little world that's going to open up as soon as you get through there. That is a lot more colorful, and you guys have a rainbow now. That's a great synchronicity. This blessing could take many forms. Let's go ahead and draw some tiny messages. You guys, if you've been on this channel for a while, are familiar. I instead of drawing from little piles, I put them all on one big one. So let's see if we can get an idea of what these blessings might be. Okay. The moon came out again. Hidden came out again. That's that idea of the subconscious, okay? Something rising to the surface. Okay. Charm, clever, tool time. So for some of you, this seems to be about a glow up or a relationship. Those are the main energies that I'm getting. And I know that we're not supposed to go fully into that we want to allow some level of synchronicity and surprise because the message hidden came out. And whenever that comes out, it's, allow them to figure this out a little bit, right? I always try to pull forward the most useful and accurate information, but there is some measure here of surprise that we want to work with or we want to incorporate because I think it's, you guys have just done this work and it's, I'm very happy for you. I've been through this. It's been challenging. It's really ugly at first and really confusing, but I see you guys getting towards the end of the tunnel, right? You guys can at least sense this, and you sense the light at the end of the tunnel. You can see it, okay? The moon, that's just, that's more of a confirmation. Charm and clever. I get you guys feeling more beautiful. Being able to accept yourself in the mirror, that message, okay? A garden with tool time, this could be getting outside with a new friend or a new romance. So let's go ahead and draw some romance cards. I do seem to be picking up on a little bit of a message of love that wants to come through. This first card, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. That's pretty synchronistic too, okay? I think that talks about what you guys have been doing, and it's paving the way forward. It's paving the way in order for you to be able to get to the end of that tunnel and step across that barrier. That's what it was. I kept seeing this shift from like A to B. I think it's like a door opening, and you stepping from darkness into light. Okay. I did want to draw, let go of control issues, this situation, or allow the situation to unfold naturally. Okay. And then let's perhaps get one more. This is for pile 1. I was sensing an idea of love or a person moving through. Okay, you got flirt. And worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life, okay? I also see yet another angel, okay? With the rainbow. Flirt is very lighthearted energy, and we love to see that as well. So I do see this person coming through. It's a newer energy. You may not know them at all right now, but for some of you, you have a slight idea, and it's at the very, very nebulous stage, right? You only just have an idea, a crush is what I would call it. And for some of you, you needed to do this work. You needed to do this inner work, this deep dive, this dark night of the soul in order to come out into the other side to be who you actually are. Because that person, this person that you're becoming, is a much higher vibration, and they're an energetic match for what is worth waiting for. Okay? So this is the end of your reading, pile 1, and I really hope you liked it. If you did, you can always subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a big thumbs up if you've made it this far into the video. And until next time, stay divine. Hi pile 2, everyone who chose the rose, this beautiful rose. I was just trying to connect with you guys, and there's something about the idea of like, you didn't get cut too soon, or you're not past your prime, and the idea that you guys might be my late bloomers group, and a fine wine gets better with time is what I just heard. There's just something, I don't know, once in a while I'll always cut a rose from my garden. Once in a while I will always, oh my god, I cut this rose and set it on my altar, and I don't know, I usually don't keep them for this long, but there's something so beautiful about this rose, and then it has such an incredible perfume still, which I find remarkable. So I was just getting this idea that of beauty and love. Okay, are you the Empress? That makes sense to me. Okay, I'm getting the idea of beauty being, you know, sort of paramount for pile 2 at this time. Okay, something along the ideas of getting better with age, okay? And it's like the idea of thinking that you've passed your prime for some reason. I just keep hearing that. And I don't want you to look at yourself that way, because you are younger, what do I want to say? You're the youngest you've ever been right now. Right now. And right now. And right now. You're already like 7 seconds older, right? You're your most beautiful and youngest and youthful self in the present moment, okay? I don't know, that's an important message. I just find something so stunning about this rose. I haven't tossed it yet. And yeah, I just get the idea of beauty, okay? Let me move forward. So the Empress, okay? So what in your life right now is requiring you to fold in nurturing energy? I really do get it that it's you, okay? And I feel like it's because you guys haven't gotten a certain measure of success yet, okay? You guys haven't felt very abundant, and I think that what could be below that is ideas of self-worth, okay? And I think that pile 2 should spend some time adorning themselves. I know I've been saying that on this channel lately, but I think perhaps it's the most important for this reading in pile 2 right now, to feel sumptuous, right? To put on things that make them feel beautiful. You don't have to spend a lot of money on your appearance to make yourself look beautiful and to feel beautiful, okay? Especially if like you don't have work that day, and I'm just seeing this, just like put on that thing. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't even have to be going anywhere. But you should wear the clothes in your closet that make you feel some type of way, okay? This Empress, she says to nurture something, okay? It could be a creative project of yours. It also could be yourself. And let's try to figure out what's next, okay? So this idea of talking to yourself kinder is coming through. And I think it really has to do with the fact that you guys, you may not know where you want to be yet. You may not feel like you've reached a milestone in your life that you see other people reaching. You may have confusion about where to go and where to steer your life. You may not even know what success to you would look like. And there's nothing wrong with that. I would just say keep thinking about what makes you feel beautiful. What makes you feel like you can nurture other people? Where in your life have you been where your creative well is the fullest, where your emotional well is the fullest, where you felt like you could be someone who can offer great advice to other people? Think about that time period in your life and try to figure out what you were doing then, okay? This could also be thinking about when you were younger. It's not my favorite example, but it works for some people. Think about what you wanted to do when you were younger. Better than that, think about what you did as a kid where you would just lose time, right? For me, that was playing dress up and playing games of imagination outside or in my bedroom. I used to play with a lot of model horses and Barbies. And so at first I was like, cool. So like I'm someone who's meant to not work and just play. But deeper than that, it's storytelling. All of those, and I write now, I'm writing a novel. I don't know if any of you guys on this channel know that. I am. I've written a novel. I've revised it 3 times. But what I'm getting is that think about when you were a child and you would just be young and free. And some of you, that's singing, okay? Some of you dancing. I want pile 2 to feel this light energy. I want you guys to feel beautiful right now. It's important, okay? Because I think that you talk yourself out of things and you create confusion because you don't take action on your desires because you lack self-confidence, okay? That's what I'm picking up on the most. And there's something about you though, you guys. The first time when I picked this up, I always tuned into the object before I read. I got pricked by this massive thorn that's on there. I was not expecting it and it really like woke me up. And I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I want you guys, again, to talk to yourself kinder, okay? There's something very beautiful about pile 2, but they don't see it, okay? Let's move forward, and we'll keep these messages out. It just seems to be confusion about why you haven't achieved a success yet, and I think that it has something to do with comparing yourself to other people and a need to nurture yourself at this time, okay? For some of you, you could be feeling very creative at this time, very, very uplifted because it's the spring. It is where I am right now. I'm just picking up on someone who could also just feel like they want to storm ahead right now, utilize all this creative power at their fingertips and create. But I'm getting this idea of nurturing yourself, okay, because there's something there to be revealed still. Okay? Because we have this Empress and you guys chose the rose, I want to pull some earth magic for you. And then we'll take a look at, I think I really want to do a spirit animal for you guys as well. And then romance. So this is for pile 2, please. My rose. Pile 2, who and what earth magic for pile 2? Green man with synergy, okay? Also, it's very, very lush, right? And now we have the green man and we have the Empress. To me, that's like birthing something, okay? It doesn't have to be a human. It could be a creative idea. I also get the flowering of a soul. Synergy is about working together though, okay? It's the energy of bringing 2 people together to create something better, okay? For those of you who are creatives, this could be bringing in other creatives to help you with a project, okay? For those of you who need to nurture yourself, I think it would be important at this time. I'm getting the idea of nurturing other people will help you talk better to yourself. Or imagine that you were nurturing you're giving pep talks to a bunch of 5th graders or pep talks to kindergartners who had anxiety. Imagine a kindergartner worrying about what they were going to be when they grow up, like actually worrying about it. What would you tell that kindergartner? I think you need to tell that same message to yourself, okay? Let's get one more earth magic for pile 2. What earth magic wants to assist pile 2? Lotus flower with unfoldment. That's a beautiful message. Okay, yeah. I see this idea of someone, I had this message last week, kind of like an ugly duckling syndrome, okay? Now, the lotus flower has gone up against all odds to be able to achieve its niche in the habitat. Okay, a lotus flower seed is buried deep in the muck and mire of a bog and swamp, and it sacrifices everything. It gives up its access to sunlight, access to air, And in order to create a space where it has the least amount of resistance when it is blossoming, okay? And it's that idea of letting go of all control in order to receive. And it's like once you let go of everything you're trying so hard to hold on to, that's when abundance can come to you. Because that lotus, it goes all the way through the mud, all the way through many, many feet of water to emerge at the surface and produce the most unusually beautiful bloom. There's something about you. There's just something about you. The rose, the empress, now you have green man, synergy, and lotus flower with unfoldment. Something really grounding and calming and nurturing about you. I could, pick up on that this could be a life path for you guys. I'm going to reach for another tarot deck, honestly. What do we want to talk to pile 3 about? Now that I've picked up on them, Knight of Pentacles, patience. Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. I'm getting the idea of having identified a project for yourself, going down some business entrepreneur aspect, okay, and wanting to charge forward with a lot of gusto at this time. But I think patience is needed because you guys are unfolding. And as you do so, there needs to be this time to acclimate to your new environment or your new state of being. This new way of looking at yourself, I think, is also an important message. And what's necessary is slow and steady work, okay? Now, Knight of Pentacles, this could be a figure coming through. So let's touch on that for some people. But I do get more of a slow and steady commitment every day, showing up for yourself, talking to yourself kinder, not focusing so hard on where you want to be and what that looks like, especially if you haven't asked yourself what would make you happy. What is the most valuable thing to you? I used to think it was popularity. To me now it's peace of mind, and that's such a radical difference, right? And the being who I was when I wanted popularity and fame is so vastly different than who I am these days. There's been a period of growth that is happening in between that is so necessary. You can't just go from A to B and then just operate from that high vibration, from, incorporating all those new lessons. You can't just be that powerful figure immediately. There's this period of growth or patience where you acclimate, where the dust starts to settle, and then you can sort of move from that. I do want to touch on romance for you guys. It's potentially some romantic figure coming through. Let go of control issues and heart-to-heart conversations, okay? Yeah, to me, this talks about unfolding, that lotus. As soon as you let go of control, as soon as you stop trying to push forward so hard, I know some of you are like, but I need to financially. Now, if you have a job, you have money coming in, you're okay right now. I know you want to go to a new height, but allow yourself to feel comfort and to express gratitude for what you presently have right now, because that'll help you focus on the abundance you currently have, okay? The Empress, she is coming out to deliver these messages that I've relayed thus far, but she also says that things should be pretty good right now. They should be very grounded and calming. Again, I know that you guys have some ambition, and I think that your ideal life, you might not have fully figured it out yet. Okay, I get this idea that there's just a little bit of confusion surrounding about where you want your final destination to be, what would be the most authentic to you, where your talents and hobbies should lie. I get a little bit of confusion there, okay? And I think that this has to do with developing self-confidence, because once you can believe that the universe will assist you, once you can believe in the choices that you are creating for yourself, making for yourself, and the path that you start walking down, once you do that with a little bit more of self-confidence, you will start to see things shifting into place, more money coming in, a little bit more clarity and assuredness about your path and purpose in life, okay? I see a romantic feeling. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, but this truly isn't for the majority of you. Yet I am snooping and I'm very curious. So this Knight of Pentacles, for some of us, this is a person. And can we find out a little bit more information about them? she's just, they're just not that into you. That's kind of what I was getting. Right now we're really focusing on you. I'm getting the idea of nurturing you, and maybe you guys are writers too. You do something creative with your hands or manipulating different mediums like painting and sculpture and things like that. And I think that you, similarly to pile one, are unfolding right now. You might actually be slightly further ahead than pile one, no tea, no shade, but you have the lotus flower with unfoldment. That talks to me, especially with this Knight of Pentacles and patience. You guys are on the brink of moving into a new chapter of your life. A card that came out, I haven't told you yet, was the Chariot. And it talks about really standing in your self-confidence. So perhaps for the majority of your reading, I've been describing you a couple years ago, you a couple months ago, and you are now at this phase of your life where you've acclimated. You're this new person. You're feeling your sort of goddess energy, God energy, whatever you like to resonate with, and you're about to make some new direction shift in your life or experience movement, okay? I do get the idea of movement. Now, this relationship, heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with yourself, let your friends help you, ask and accept support from others, and then romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. I do get the idea that this is perhaps someone who, they're just not that into you. That's what the card says, for better or for worse, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me pull, a little tiny message for you guys. Summer and holiday. Okay, so I get that perhaps that there will be romance moving through this summer. Okay, and yeah, this summer is a brighter period of your life. I think that you guys, this is very cool. It's very synchronistic compared to pile one. It's like pile one was chapter one, you guys are chapter two, as far as where you are in the world right now, in your own little spiritual journey. I said I wanted to pull an animal medicine card, so let's move there. I think that there's someone coming for you this summer, okay? There is this one card that was off to the side. It says star-crossed, dare I say star-crossed. And then for holiday and summer, that's such a light energy. The both of them sort of like build each other up. I see something happening for you guys this summer in love. Excuse me, okay. So let's pull an animal spirit guide. What animal spirit guide wants to work with pile one? Elk with stamina, another 3, okay? Your Empress is the other 3 in your reading, okay? 3s talk about creation, okay, and beauty, creative power itself, okay? I feel like you can feel energy differently these days, okay? The Elk, stamina, the ability to go the whole distance, and with Knight of Pentacles and patience, I get the idea that that's really crucial for you at this time, even with the lotus flower. It takes a long time to travel up and grow that stem all the way through those feet of water just to emerge at the surface. I get the idea of needing to pace yourself at this time in your life, okay? It's the idea of acclimation, right? That's that big main message for pile 2. You're acclimating to your new state of being, okay? And that requires you to have a period of time where old triggers will come in and test you to see if you really are in this new vibrational state. And it's your higher self's way of testing you, just so that you can remain and reaffirm that you are here as this, more loving, compassionate person who's more optimistic and has a greater ability to work with ease and navigate their life, okay? Patience is required at this time, slow and steady work. Now I want to draw a final card for you guys, a spiritual lens. No need to rush ahead at this time, okay? I think that the biggest way to clear confusion is to become still. As much as you want to charge forward and get that bread, I think right now it's really about, okay, I should be tuning into this deck if I'm going to be drawing from it. That's what my guides are saying. But I keep saying, Yes, literally just came out. That was funny. Let me wrap up that message real quick. Stamina, slow and steady work, no need to run at this time. That's a message that's like the biggest one for you because you're acclimating. You need a period to be this new person, to be who you are now in order to go and bring in more. You have to be who you are now. You have to become more accustomed and familiar with this new state of being, okay? For pile 2, please. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided, and I'm pretty sure the camera is just about to cut out. Sorry guys, it only records for 20 minutes. It's something I'm becoming familiar with, but let me just finish with this card, Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Now, I see this figure in this long hallway walking towards, the distance. There's lots of sphinxes here, okay? And that makes me think of ancient Egypt, and this is, a place of knowledge. So if you guys are really sort of curious about your life path, about where you're going in life, what your mark on the world is supposed to be, where your creative talent is useful and helpful, I'm getting that this pause to be who you are presently, to be quiet and grounded, to be in nature, and to actively seek out answers in your mind during meditation is going to bring forward clarity. There's always, that cliche that all the answers lie within you. It's true, because as you go through life, your subconscious collects every experience that you had, and sometimes you have emotional reactions to things that you potentially should be doing as your life purpose, but other things are moving through your life at that time, so you're not really able to figure out or acclimate to that idea or digest that idea because it's just your focus is elsewhere. So I'm sensing that you might want to do a little reflection or meditation at this time to bring forward answers. I think you guys can be curious about your life path and purpose. Okay? So this is the end of the reading, and I really hope you liked it, pile 2. If you did, you can always subscribe if you haven't already. You can give me a big thumbs up if you've made it this far into the video. It really helps support the messages on this channel, helps my channel grow. And until next time, pile 2, stay divine. Hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading, everyone who chose the frankincense. So let's start off with some tarot. We'll touch on whatever comes out here, but then also some spirituality and romance. So for pile 3, we could just stop here. The most remarkable card in the deck, it's Charity. It's also unique to this deck. This deck has 79 cards instead of the regular 78. Charity goes beyond the world, okay? Charity, you guys are at a period in your life of like great abundance to the point where you should really extend outwards. It's like you've worked very hard to be. This is so amazing. The readings today have been so incredibly synchronistic to the point that pile 1 was you guys many years ago. Pile 2 was you guys maybe last year or the year before that. And pile 3 is, I just see this evolution of a soul throughout these readings. Just today, though, it's really cool. So you guys got Charity. Yeah, you've gone to the point where you're able to take whatever step in life you desire and identify. You're able to take those steps. You no longer are trapped in your mind. You're no longer plagued by decisions. You don't get hung up on self-limiting beliefs or fears or anxieties of the past. You're this new person. I think you're at the end of some major chapter of your life, or it's at the very beginning, okay? You're at a crucial sort of phase where things should be pretty nice at this time. You shouldn't be really worried about your career. You shouldn't really be worried about relationships, anything draining or plaguing your energy. And because you're in this state, that's why we want to extend your light outwards, okay? You are equipped to be able to assist others. That's what the message is. Pile 3, you also have the blessing of the blue cat, which I figured out is what this illustration is actually supposed to be. So that's pretty remarkable. Cats, to me, I love the idea that they can pass through time to be able to receive messages, okay? So I think that pile 3, you either are just someone who's at a good place in their career, you're not really someone who's super, super spiritual, you just really are at a phase where you can branch out your wealth of experience to others. This could be being a teacher, providing financial assistance to other people in need. You also could be someone who's very spiritual, and right now, because of all the growth you've done, you're able to take on a spiritual gift and develop it and extend that to other people at this time, okay? Really remarkable. I don't really know. Oh my goodness. I haven't done this in a while. Whenever this isn't too many cards, we'll just sort of try to channel a message, okay? Yeah, Tower in reverse, that's cool. This could be talking about your past, okay? To me, it has fallen. It's already come down, okay? Followed by the 5 of Wands in reverse, an inner battle of what you desire to do with your life purpose. 5 Wands, 5 lights becoming 1. Instead of exerting your energy out to 5 different areas, they become 1, a bonfire, okay? That's like, you guys have really, really amazing energy. It's a lot lighter so far, and it's because you guys are at a stage of evolution. You've gone the distance, okay? Love to see those all in reverse. King of Cups falling underneath the Charity card. That's pretty interesting. And it's in reverse, which talks to me about it being you, okay? You are someone now who has a wealth of understanding, emotional compassion, and that's the key to unlocking success and whatever you desire at this point in your life, okay? Whatever you seem to be interacting with, wherever you are in your particular life path, right now, anyone who comes in contact with you is uplifted. And so you're going to be sent people. That's what the message is. You're going to be sent people who need to receive guidance from you and need to receive your light, okay? Because you're someone who's really worn off the edges, the sharp edges that have sort of, were jagged at a time in your life. Those have been worn smooth through experience, okay? You have a lot of emotional experience, a lot of experience in relationships, and it's because you've developed a relationship with yourself, okay? We have the Ace of Cups, and then finally the 4 of Wands, okay? Ace of Cups could be a relationship coming through. We'll definitely draw on that. And the Ace of Cups in reverse to me says that you love yourself, okay? And to me, it just talks about the idea that you understand that love is the most powerful energy in the universe, okay? And I get that with the 4 of Wands coming out next, this period of celebration and a happy occasion is the energy that surrounds you. My reading last week, I talked about however I feel when the 4 of Wands comes out, and there's no sort of ulterior motive. Second message, it's always the idea of, for better or for worse, a period of rest that's going to be rejuvenating for you. Before you go out and embark on the world, I just see it as a really fortunate energy surrounding you, especially because you have the Chariot. Now, if this was a relationship, because for some of you it is, could we have a little information on this? Forgiving and learning, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Heart-to-heart conversations, healing family issues, and then romantic feelings. What's kind of really unusual is that every single one of these cards came out in the pile right before you. So perhaps there is someone in here who would like to receive a message in pile 2. Okay. But what I'm also getting is that this is really talking about who you used to be. Okay. And someone who had a lot of forgiving and learning to do has crafted you and developed your soul to be this new person. Someone with a wealth of experience, okay? Now, I do see a beginning of a relationship moving through. Something pretty significant, okay? Try to be in this vibration of love, okay, and generosity and compassion. It'll attract this person to you. I'm going to draw on this romantic feelings card, please. I just love this card so much. I love the dress that the girl is wearing. It's such a pretty blue color. I love the sort of pasture in the distance, 2 angels by her, okay? I love you came out. Can I have a little information about this person, please? This is for pile 3. Aphrodite now with Venus. Wow. So I see that you are either in a relationship right now, or there is one coming in the near future. Can I draw a little bit more on this? The uncommon and space. Curious. Okay. So to me, this talks about one of two things. Either you have a life partner who's gone with you throughout your various incarnations. They might not be in this one. For others of you, this person is remarkable, okay? And it's because you are no less remarkable. The person that I'm channeling right here is someone who understands how to go about life and really why they're here, okay? And I don't necessarily see many things that you guys need to work on at this time, because I sense that the person, again, that I'm channeling is someone who has done all of this work, okay? And so you go about life, the biggest message I want to tell Pile 3 right now is that people are going to be sent to you because you have the most incredible energy and perspective, okay? You're able to experience without judgment, which is said to be the highest form of intelligence. When you can take in an experience without evaluating it, without judgment, and you can just observe, that's a really high form of intelligence, okay? And I think because of this, you are going to be able to shift many people's perspectives, okay? Can I get some earth magic for this incredible pile, please? Eagle with communion. I knew it. You guys are highly spiritual, the majority of you, okay? And that's what I was getting, this idea that you're going to be sent a divine gift, sent or awakened to, or the talent that you currently possess spiritually is going to be taken to the next phase. When you even more so start to expand outwards, okay? I think some of the early signs are going to be birds. I think your spirit guides communicate with birds. And I think that when you start seeing people come to you and asking you for advice, or, just random interactions with strangers that you sense that you really made an important impact on their life, we're saying that you're entering a really, what do I want to say? It's almost like I don't have advice for you because I admire you so much. And I feel like this reading is meant to provide you with that confirmation. I could sense that you might be going into a new chapter in your life, which is very different than what you had been doing before. No less abundant, even more abundant, maybe even closer to you, more authentic, different though, new. And I don't think you're carrying any baggages of anxiety or fear or self-limiting beliefs. You're experimenting. It's like you're finally unfolded and you're able to fully experience life. You're able to go about and do whatever you want to do and experience in this 3D realm because you've shaken off all the weight from the past. You've released all your old soul contracts, who you used to be, negative people and factors. You have this new processing system where you're able to just go through life and experience joy, even when things aren't necessarily joyful. You can just feel like, it's not the most incredible thing going on right now. Like sitting in traffic for 2 hours, for example. But you're not you no longer drop into a low vibration of come on people, hurry up, You're just there and you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to this audiobook, or I'm going to gaze out the window, or I'm going to play some music, something like that. You've shifted into a totally new state of being, and I get that you've really unfolded. Okay, with Eagle and Communion, it's a really strong connection to Source, and with your spirit guides, the universe, I think you can pull information, you can channel information, you have a stronger connection with your spirit guides at this time. Eagle to me talks about experiencing the highs in life and the lows in life, and as a result, gaining the most incredible perspective. You've been really, really high before. I think you are now. You've been very, very low before. Okay, we have the Tower, one of the most, kind of scary cards in the deck, and the Charity card, the highest card in the deck. So you guys are very, very spiritually adept. You've been in through all of them, okay? And you have the most incredible perspective. That was that message I kept trying to pull through, having the high and the low. But what is more beautiful about you guys is the third message with Eagle, which is the idea of faith. When you believe that the universe supports you and wants you to experience the most abundant life, that is an even higher vibration. That's where you guys currently reside. And you're able to identify an experience, and it will happen. It will come into your life. The path will open up. You'll know how to get there. I got a good confirmation in my throat there. It might necessarily not drop into your life, but you're someone who now knows how to get from A to B without any of the stress or sweating in between, okay? Eagle with communion, highly, highly spiritual, okay? That's just such a beautiful card, okay? I really don't actually know where else to take your reading. Let's draw some spiritual lenses. I think that the main message came out for pile 3. Okay, so for pile 3, is there a spiritual lens we want to add to their reading? For pile 3, please. Mintakan. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. I see a beautiful mermaid. Yeah, to me this, yeah. You guys identify as starseeds, okay? You identify at the very least as an old soul. You could be a wanderer as well. And I think that for the longest time, the universe, the world, Earth got you down, and it caused this massive shift. And you started to realize that you are not the victim of a story, you are the storyteller, okay? And you can tell whatever story, you can spin whatever story, any thread of existence you wish to experience in this 3D plane, you can have it. Because you've gone through some serious lows and transmuted some ugly energy of your past, ugly people, ugly experiences, and you now are flowering, you're blossoming, and you're in this state of everlasting rose is what I just heard for some reason, okay? I get that you're not going to be shaken, and you're meant right now to just shine brilliantly. You know, I am not surprised that you guys got the original light workers, okay? What I also get from this card, though, longing from home and then perhaps issues with belonging, I just want to remind you, you're not here on the 3D Earth forever. You volunteered to have an experience, most likely, okay? And at least that's my belief. And just don't get caught up in the mundane, in the day-to-day, in the ugliness in the world. That's really important for you guys, okay? I think that sometimes you get stimulated by you just see how complicated Earth is, how complicated it is to shift. And I think that you're understanding, or should start to understand, that the best thing you can do is just stay authentic, to be bright, and you don't have to take on the weight of the world on your shoulders, okay? You're not Atlas. You're only one person. And if we all stand in this amount of authenticity and power and brilliance and light, that's what has the effect. It's cumulative, okay? You're not the only light worker. You're not the only starseed, okay? You would have to be an angel in order to carry that amount of responsibility. But you are presently on Earth. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, okay? So go out and do whatever you want to do, whatever it is. It can be money. You know, you've learned that money is a renewable resource. It's not something to be afraid of. There are people in power who use money in negative ways. You don't have to be that person, okay? It might not even be money that you desire. Maybe you want to go buy a piece of land and move and live quietly. That is still causing radiant white light to be emitted around you, okay? That's beautiful. Let's draw one spiritual card, or one spirit animal card. I do think that some of you are gifted, okay? You have blue heron, okay? With reflection. I believe blue heron is reflection, okay? I get an old soul, okay? Someone who's very, very patient and wise, okay? An observer. I think this is the end of your reading, pile 3. I don't know that there's anything else that I could tell you that you don't already know or should feel at this time in your life, okay? I get a very, very grounded individual who doesn't really need this reading anymore. And I think that perhaps you're someone who's worked with tarot for a long time. Maybe you used to watch a lot of tarot readings, and you don't require that anymore. You can watch them for entertainment, or, you know, because you like someone's energy, and maybe that's just why you're in this reading right now. You don't even necessarily need any of this because you know it already. I just get that energy from you guys, okay? So I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, you can give me a big thumbs up. If you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. It helps support the messages on my channel. It helps these messages reach other people who need them too. If you'd like to book a personal reading about anything, you can email me. That email is on this account. You can follow the link in my description box if you'd like to book a personal reading. And until next time, stay divine.